ASMR. I think I need therapy.
Good night, Morgandy.
Have a good sleep, lover.
Hello, my loves, and welcome to this week's episode of I Think I Need Therapy. Today we are joined by my bestie boo, Trista.
Hey guys, what's up?
We're currently at my camp. If you're watching the video, you can see our amazing mic setup. And
We've got some survival guides and Inferno holding us up today.
yeah, and some nice wood. Cottagecore. Also, shout out to Green Cabin Pottery.
Green Cabin Pottery for making the best mugs ever.
She's gonna love this.
We love Green Cabin Pottery.
We do. Mama J is the best.
Mama J, love that girl.
But yeah, we literally just spent the night on camp. It was very spur of the moment decision. It was so fun.
Minute.
Yeah.
But like a good night, like way to disconnect and like turn our phones off and not talk to anyone except for ourselves.
Be in nature. I love this place so much.
Me too. It's so pretty.
Love
it.
Right on the lake.
We watched the sunset last night.
Yeah, we did. That was really nice. Then we played Monopoly.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, we had to pause and go to bed, and it's continuing, so we're gonna play later, I guess.
Yeah. But I literally haven't done my highlights of the week in so many episodes. So I think we should bring it back for this one. Okay. And hear your highlights of the week.
Highlights of the week. I started working this week.
Right.
Working at a restaurant, serving. Really exciting.
I'm a waitress.
Loving it, making lots of money. Mm-hmm. Tips every night.
As you should.
Really good. This week, I've been focusing on my friends and my relationships with them and spending time with them and
Guys,
living in the moment.
Our friend group hangs out like almost every freaking night. Like,
yeah.
It's our little night routine.
It's
hanging out
fun.
all together. It is fun.
I'm like, I'll text group chat plans tonight, and they're like, we don't have any, and then we all go sit somewhere and chat.
Yep. Normally the beach. We haven't really been to Sandy though much.
No, we'll go back.
Yeah, we will once it gets warmer.
Yeah.
Any other highlights?
I finished the spring course I was doing.
Oh yeah.
Hope it went well.
That's over.
We'll see.
Yeah. That's
what about your week?
Highlights of my week. Oh, we had a really fun night on Friday.
Oh yeah.
That was a highlight for sure. Super fun. I love getting together with like everyone in town who we're like friends with.
Yeah. And
just all hanging out together, having a good time. So that was really fun just to be with like a big group of people. I mean, our friend group, just the girls, is like pretty big itself.
Yeah.
But
no, it's so fun.
Yeah, that was really fun. That was probably the highlight of my week. Had a good golfing day that day too.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. We've been golfing recently.
Yeah.
And
golfing gals.
Killing it. Like, I'm getting better and better every
you
time.
Are. You really are.
Thank you. And it's fun.
It is.
Like, I'm like...
I mean, it's frustrating, but like, it's fun.
Yeah. I just like don't keep score and then it's fun.
Exactly. Me either. I never do because I'm like, no.
No, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. And even like all the other girls are pretty good too.
Yeah.
We've been killing it.
It's so fun when we go out. We take little vlogs and pictures and...
Yeah. So fun. But yeah, that's my week. But you've been going to therapy recently too, eh?
I have been recently started.
Yes, love it.
Yes.
And how's that going?
Actually really, really good. Mm-hmm. I've been going to see a counselor in the hospital in our little small town. Mm-hmm. And just every week, I haven't actually seen her in a little bit because I started working, but I'm going to schedule one soon. But I just go see her, we have a chat. We talk about anxiety, and we talk about, I have emetophobia, which is the fear of like throw up and throwing up. Really fun. So we've been talking about that because that is like the root of my anxiety for the most part. So yeah, I go see her. We talk about like coping mechanisms and like thought versus like physical symptom behaviors.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually been really nice.
That's good. That's so good.
And it makes you feel good because you're like advocating for yourself.
Yes.
Like I'm putting in the work to help myself right now, and I feel really good about it.
No, oh my God, that's how I feel right now, like in therapy.
Yeah.
I like forgot what it was like to be like really working on myself and my thoughts and like all these like, I don't know, stuck beliefs that I have that I didn't realize.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, wait, this is so fun.
No, exactly.
Like working on myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing that I recently learned about was that we have 3 like forms of thought. So there's your immediate thoughts, like in regards to anxiety specifically, there's your immediate thought. So oh my God, something's gonna happen, or oh my God, they're gonna whatever, like something happening.
Yeah.
And then the second level, I think, is your assumptions about a situation. So it's like, oh, they're definitely judging me about this right now. Oh, they definitely drank too much, or whatever, like stuff like that. And then the third one is your core beliefs. So things you believe wholeheartedly that influence your anxiety.
Yeah.
And the assumptions are based off of those beliefs, and then the immediate thoughts are based off of all of it.
Right.
But the whole point of going to therapy and working through stuff for your anxiety is that you can change some of those assumptions and those core beliefs for a better assumption.
Yes. Yeah. I've never heard of those 3.
Yeah, it's actually really cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because it makes so much sense. Because I've heard like some kind of thing like that. But that makes sense when you put it in like, you have your core beliefs, and then that influences like... I mean, your beliefs influence your whole reality, really.
Exactly.
Which,
And like anxiety is so irrational a lot of the time that you can't really tie it to those beliefs, but those assumptions you can tie it to because a lot of them are irrational.
Yeah.
Like for me with my emetophobia, all day, every day I'm thinking about what if someone throws up around me. And it's my Roman Empire. Like I'm thinking about it literally all the time.
Yeah. That's so hard.
And it just flashes through my brain, what if somebody throws up? And I know, like, aside from the anxiety, if someone did throw up or if I threw up, I would be completely fine. I'm not going to die. I'm not going to, like, keep throwing up. Like, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But that anxiety, that irrational assumption that it's a bad thing, and that fear, like, it's, like, crippling sometimes.
Really?
Like, I have to remove myself from situations because I am just, like, so in my head about it. And I realize a lot of the time it's more thought-based before it's like physical symptoms.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then it like manifests and it's a cycle, and it's really awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you think about it all the time, every day?
Yeah, like in different situations. If I'm with like you guys, especially out at the bar, I think about it a lot.
Yeah. What's it like at school?
It's a little bit different. Because I live with 5 girls, so when we go out, like, I can't control their behavior.
Yeah.
Which is the scary part.
Yeah.
So I can't control whether they're going to throw up when we get home from the club or the next day, or at literally any point in the day. I can't control it. So I've, like, put in place, like, mechanisms that are going to help me be safe or help me be calm.
Okay, that's good.
So I'm, like... I have earplugs under my pillow, like, immediately I can put them in. I have noise-canceling headphones I can put on. And I know once my door is closed, like, nothing's coming in my room.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll even lock my door.
Okay.
Because I just want nothing coming in my room, nobody coming in my room. And I'll just be by myself.
Yeah.
And I'll watch TikToks or whatever and just distract myself.
That's good.
And then I don't hear it, so it's fine.
Has it ever, like, have they ever?
Yeah. My one roommate who just actually moved out, she would throw up without fail every morning after a night out.
Really?
Yeah. Like, really early in the morning. Like, she'd get up at, like, 6 in the morning and throw up.
Oh, my gosh.
But she was so loud
Did you ever hear it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd wake up to it and I'd be like, oh my God. And then I'd put in my earplugs and try to calm myself down.
Yeah.
Like, it was just not fun.
No.
And then, like, I have a roommate, if she gets super, super drunk, she'll throw up at night, but, like, once.
Okay.
But I usually am, like, she doesn't do very often, so it's okay.
Okay,
and usually it's when we're out, she'll throw up, and then we'll go home and she's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have another roommate. My other roommate, when we first moved into res, she had, I don't know what it's called. It's this thing you get from smoking too much weed. And you throw up, like, you have, like, a stomach bug uncontrollably. Like,
really?
For multiple days.
Like, just from smoking too much weed?
Yeah, it's like a tolerance thing, but for some reason it makes you really, really sick. And it doesn't happen to a lot of people, but it happens to people who, like, smoke, like, all day, every day. Like, they're toking all day, every day, multiple times a day. So she got that when we moved into res, and I wasn't friends with her when we moved into residence, because I was so afraid to be there if it was gonna happen.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. And then now I live with her, and she doesn't have it anymore, but she is very prone to throwing up.
Yeah.
Like, if she drinks too much, she probably will. And she's not the quietest about it. I haven't really heard her very often. But usually she'll go outside. Oh. I don't know why she goes outside, but I mean, that's nice, though. And she'll go into the backyard and then I'm like, okay, this is, like, it's so weird.
That's
and
really
like,
weird.
And then I have to prep myself to, like, walk in the backyard and be like, hey, don't look over there, and, like, walk to my car.
Because it's just...
So it doesn't help. But it helps in the noise, because the noise really bothers me. Yeah. The noise is, like, what...
Is that the worst thing?
Makes my heart sink. Like, I hear the noise and I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah. And my immediate thought is, get out. Get out. Don't hear it. Get out. Mm-hmm. And I think it's the noise.
That makes sense.
Like, I could watch someone throw up, it probably wouldn't be that enjoyable, but the
if you
noise
didn't hear
is the
it,
big thing, I think. Yeah.
What about, you know how, like, people, like, gag sometimes, like, if they're saying, like, oh, that's gross, and they, like, make the gagging noise? That really bothers you, eh?
A little bit. I've gotten a lot better with it, though. Okay. So when I first moved into the house that I live in at school with my roommates, I told them they weren't allowed to make any gag noises.
That's good.
I said, please don't, like, and then they would, and I felt so guilty because they started, like, they would accidentally do it, and then they'd be like, sorry. Oh. And I don't want anyone to accommodate their life for my anxiety. Like, I don't want to put that burden on anyone else. Yeah. Because it's something that I deal with so often that I don't want to, like, make you change your life. Yeah. When you're around me. Uh-huh. Like, if you were going to throw up, you would just go to the bathroom and I would just walk the other way. Yeah. And everything would be fine. I would be not totally okay, but whatever. Yeah. I don't want you to accommodate your life to help me in my stupid fear. So this year, actually, so I lived with them for 2 years. This year, I made an announcement. I was like, you know what, guys? I need you to help me get some exposure therapy. I was like, really? Start making gag noises. Really? Yeah. So if they're super real and realistic, like you're actually gagging, then I'm not okay. But now I can, like, tell myself that it's fake, and I can tell myself, like, okay, no, that was just because that's what we're talking about is gross. Or, like, when they change the garbage, sometimes it's like it leaks or something and the smell is rancid, and my roommate will gag. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, like, it sounds super real, and I, like, have to like take a deep breath and be like, no, like, it's okay, she's not actually gonna throw up, it's fine,
it's just gross.
It's just gross. Yeah. And I've gotten a lot better with it.
I feel like exposure therapy would, like, help for that.
Yeah. Exposure therapy is, like, the number one recommended therapy for all fears. Mm-hmm. And I've done a little bit
phobias.
Yeah. I've done a little bit of research on exposure therapy, specifically for emetophobia. And the thing is, everyone says you either have to fully commit to it.
Oh my God, yeah.
Or don't do it at all.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Like, I want to not have this fear anymore. I want to not think about this all the time. I want to be able to, I don't want it to hold me back from things.
Yeah.
Like, I'm afraid to be pregnant. I'm afraid to have kids.
Yeah.
Because I can't risk them getting the flu or me getting morning sickness because I don't know what that's going to be like.
Are you afraid of getting the flu too as well?
I'm so afraid of getting the flu.
Yeah.
Like, when in, like, flu season, like, when everybody's...
Flies.
There's mosquitoes everywhere. In flu season, when everyone's getting sick, I literally am washing my hands so often. I'm not touching any surfaces in my house.
Really?
Like, I think that in my head, my brother is just this germ
ball.
And, like, I won't even sit sometimes on the couch where he sat last.
Really?
Because I don't want to risk getting sick. Even when he has a cold, I don't want to sit there. Because I don't mind getting a cold. It does cause a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid if I cough too much, I'll throw up. Mm-hmm. Like, when I had COVID, I coughed to the point where I was, like, gagging. Mm-hmm. And it was so scary.
That would be.
Like, I didn't sleep at night. I slept during the day.
Yeah.
Because at night it was worse. And I sobbed so often because I was so afraid and I was so by myself.
Yeah.
And I was fine. I just took cough medicine and I was okay.
Yeah.
But when I'm sick or when I'm overtired, my anxiety, like, heightens. Mm-hmm. So I'm on edge more often than not.
Yeah.
And, like, there's been times where, like, I'll sleep... Oh, mosquito. There's been times where, like, in my house at school, if I'm, like, stressed about other things, like, usually with anxiety, there's this thing where there's, like, these little, like, background factors that influence how much anxiety you may have that day. Okay, like, if you don't sleep enough, if you didn't eat your regular amount, like, if you, like, schedule, like, 3 meals a day, if you usually eat 3 meals a day and you didn't that day, that could influence it. Or, like, for girls, if you're going to get your period, or anything going on in your life that's a little bit stressful.
Different environmental changes and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And, like, you wouldn't even think about it. Like, it's in the back of your mind. It's not even a factor that you think, like, is
subconsciously
important,
happening.
But when you are looking at what's causing you that anxiety, it's actually really important to look at those background factors so you can, like, rationalize it a little bit.
Yeah, that
and
makes
you can
sense.
make yourself feel better because you're like, oh, I didn't get enough sleep. Okay, everything's fine. Let me calm down.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, there's been times at school where I won't sleep at all. Like, I will sleep maybe a little bit because I feel maybe I didn't eat enough, or I'm tired, or I'm stressed about assignments or whatever, and I feel the physical symptoms of being nauseous. And it's in my head a lot of the time. Like, it's a thought-based that, like, creates physical symptoms, but I'm so afraid that I just, like, curl up in my bed and watch TikToks all night long, and I'm shaking. Like, my body's vibrating because I'm so afraid that something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I've woken up, or, like, gotten up in the morning and, like, not even slept a wink, and my roommates will be like, are you okay? Like, you look really tired, and I'll burst into tears.
Oh.
And, like we have photos of me just, like, sobbing over a fucking smoothie because I'm so overtired and so stressed.
Yeah.
And there's moments like that, which sucks.
That does.
And I don't want that. I don't want to live like that for the rest of my life.
That's so fair.
So maybe exposure therapy later in life, but not right now.
Yeah. But, like, the therapy you're doing right now, have you noticed any progress with it and, like, with your medication and stuff like that that you're taking?
Yeah. So I just recently started taking medication for anxiety. And I've noticed a couple changes with that, actually.
Yeah.
My brain is quiet. Like,
that must be nice sometimes.
It's wild. Like, I do have, like, thoughts going through my brain, and I'm overthinking some things, whatever.
Yeah.
But I can sit, and, like, right now, even, like, I can sit, and there's no thoughts going through my brain. It's just quiet, and it's not, like, a bunch of jumbled up, like, thoughts, anxiety,
all these different voices all the time.
Yeah. Quiet. I don't know what.
Who knew that was possible?
But I love it.
Yeah.
I love it because I'm reading my book and I'm imagining my book. Like, I'm reading my book and I'm picturing the book and I'm not thinking about the other things going on in my life.
Yeah, you can actually be in the moment.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
It's really enjoyable.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's been some other changes, but because I'm on this medication and I'm advocating for myself and going to therapy, I'm thinking more about my thoughts, and I'm analyzing how I'm processing things, and I'm analyzing how my anxieties might like come up.
Yeah.
Which has been really, really interesting. And then I get to go to therapy and I get to talk about that.
Yeah.
And like, I'm studying psychology at school, so I have an understanding of what's going on. Like, I can explain it. And like, when I met with my doctor to get put on medication for this, I explained everything to her because I knew how she needed to hear it to understand it.
Yeah.
I like explained, because anxiety is so irrational, you can't explain, like, I can't explain to you why I'm afraid of throwing up.
It's just it's
just a thing. Happened. It's just a thing. But with that, I'm able to like kind of explain it in a way that like I think about it all day, every day. It affects things that I do. I hold myself back from things because I don't want to do them.
I think those are the big things, because have you studied like the DSM-5? Yeah. And most of the DSM-5s, it's like the criteria to be diagnosed or something. It's always like if it affects your day-to-day life, that's always like one of the symptoms for a lot of things. Yeah. So if it does, then you know that like, okay, it is like a problem. Yeah.
And I never used to think that I had anxiety. I never used to, like, I thought everyone thought the same way that I did. So moving into the house that I live in now at school, my one roommate, she has like been diagnosed with anxiety and OCD. Right. And she's medicated for it. She has been since like maybe elementary school, high school. Like, she's been, like, her parents were really good about it and that's like noticed that something was going on.
Yeah.
And like, she's been working on it her whole life. She's still in therapy. Like, she does all this stuff.
Yeah.
And she'll look at me and I'll explain my thoughts to her when I have really bad anxiety or when I'm thinking about people throwing up or whatever. And she's like, you are me before I was medicated. Like, you are me. You have anxiety 100%. And that was so validating.
That is.
Because I had a feeling I had something, but I don't want to be that girl that's like, my anxiety is this and whatever. Like, I hate girls who are like that. And
when they don't actually, people, when they don't actually, but then they like, oh my God, I'm so depressed today. And it's like, honey, no, you're just sad.
Yeah. And then
this like one thing that'll happen, you're probably going to be fine tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay that you're sad, but don't throw around that you're
and then like people who organize their like pencils or something and they're like, I'm so OCD.
It's like, honey, no.
No, babe.
That's not OCD.
No, babe, that's not OCD anymore.
It's deeper than that.
Yeah. So I don't want to be that girl.
That's fair.
And I wanted to avoid being that girl for literally my whole life. And I didn't figure out that I had emetophobia until first year university.
Really?
Like, I knew that I had it, but I didn't know there was a name for it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that other people had it.
Yeah.
I just knew that it freaked me out.
See, this is, like, I love being diagnosed. As much as it sucks to actually have mental illnesses, I love being diagnosed because it's so validating. It's like,
my God.
It's like, oh my God, wait, like, this makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It's like the reason why I'm reacting that way, the reason why I'm thinking these things is because I have this.
Exactly.
Like, wow.
Exactly. And when I started going to therapy and meeting with the counselor I'm meeting with now, I was explaining something. She goes, that's anxiety. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you for validating that for me, because no one's ever said that to me before. Yeah. And no one in a professional setting has ever said that to me before.
Really?
I've just assumed these things.
Yeah.
And I'm so afraid of being that girl that I don't want to assume that I have a mental illness that maybe I don't.
That's fair.
But she validated it for me.
It's so nice to be validated.
Because now I can say, yeah, I have anxiety or my anxiety. And maybe that's not a conversation I want to have all the time, but it's really nice to have friends like her and my friend group here, my friend group at school, where mental health is such an open conversation. Yes. And it's so nice.
It is.
Because with anxiety specifically, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I know that I'm not.
Yes.
And that's a big thing.
Yeah, it so is. Because I feel like when you don't know you have like a specific mental illness, or you don't know, or you start to think that, oh, maybe it's not that bad, or maybe it's just like, maybe I'm making it bigger in my head or something. Yeah. But then we have like people to actually talk about it with, and you're validated, and it's like, okay, wait, this is serious. Yeah. Like, I should like talk about it and get through it. Yeah.
And one thing I learned actually recently is that there are different kinds of anxiety. Like, anxiety manifests itself in people in different ways. And I didn't realize that. So my roommate, who has OCD, her main anxiety is, like, the best way to explain it is, like, secondhand embarrassment. Oh. She's so anxious about somebody else embarrassing themselves because she has to be there to watch it.
Really?
Like, she hates getting on public buses because she's so afraid that, like, she hates when people stand on the bus because she's so afraid that they're gonna fall. Or, and she
That's
hates...
so interesting.
And, like, when we go... You know when you go to Starbucks and you get a coffee and, like, maybe they made it wrong?
Yeah.
And the whole point of that is, like, you can go back to them and say, this is made wrong, can you remake it? Never in my life will I ever ask that. It's so terrifying.
I'll just drink the drink.
No, exactly. But for her... She gets anxiety, like, if her drink was wrong, she wouldn't go up. I don't mind going up for somebody else's drink.
Yeah.
Because it's not my thing.
Yeah.
Like, I would bring her drink up and say, can you remake this? Or, like, can you make sure it's made with oat milk or whatever? But she won't let me do it because she's so anxious about me embarrassing myself. Oh. On her regard or for me or whatever. Yeah. And I think I stress her out a little bit because I'm more extroverted. Uh-huh. So I don't mind saying shit to people.
Yeah, you don't.
Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not that deep. So
it's not that deep.
So I think I cause her a little bit of anxiety because she doesn't want me to embarrass myself. But I think when I don't get embarrassed about it, it's okay.
Is she just anxious about other people embarrassed?
I don't know. I talked to her about it recently, and I was like, what do you mean that you have anxiety about other people embarrassing themselves? And I think for her... It might be like I think it goes both ways. Like, if she has anxiety about embarrassing herself, and then I think she just has anxiety of, like, secondhand embarrassment. Like, she doesn't want to experience your embarrassment.
That makes sense though, because, like, you secondhand embarrassment, like, you still, like, feel the feelings of being embarrassed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It stresses her out, and it's wild to me because I don't experience that at all.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
Yeah. And then, like, some people have health anxiety. One of the girls that just moved into my house actually this year, she has a lot of health anxiety, and she has anxiety about people dying. Oh. Like, she...
Like, not like people close to her, or just people in general?
Mostly people close to her. So, like, she'll... Before she goes to bed at night, she told me about this, and I was like, that's so interesting. But she'll, like, create these, like, situations in her head where... she thinks that one of us are gonna die, like one of her friends or like her parents or like someone close to her.
Every night?
I don't know if it's every night, but I think it's when she's more stressed. But she creates these like scenarios, and she's so afraid that somebody is gonna die, and she just has this like gut feeling. Oh. And I was like, that's got to be the most terrifying thing ever.
That is really scary.
Yeah. And she has crazy health anxiety. Like, she'll Google her symptoms all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, if she starts feeling off, like, she'll get really anxious about it?
Yeah. Huh. Which is wild.
Yeah. That would be really hard.
Yeah. I know some other people with health anxiety that will, like, think they're having a heart attack.
Yeah. When they're
just, like, having a panic attack, or they're just, like...
Like, a little bit of chest pain or something.
Yeah. But they'll, like, manifest it into more.
Yeah.
And then, like, no one likes going to the hospital. I hate going to the hospital. I will not sit in a emerge ever.
No?
No, because there is a risk someone could throw up around me.
Oh, that makes sense.
And you're there for hours and you can't get out.
Yeah.
Like, that's my absolute nightmare. I will never sit in a emerge if I don't have to.
Yeah.
I will sit in a emerge in our hospital.
Because nobody goes in there.
Because no one's there. You get seen right away.
Yeah.
But in any big city, like in where I go to school, like I'm not going to emerge.
Yeah. That makes sense, yeah.
If I was dying, yeah.
But
I'd call a freaking ambulance, but no. You could not catch me dead sitting in a merge. If my roommate needed to go to a merge, I would drop them off. Like, I don't think I could sit in a merge. Yeah. It would cause me a lot of stress.
Yeah. I mean, it's sick people all around you.
Exactly. And then I could get sick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So true. But, yeah.
It sucks. It's so... It's because it's surrounding me every single day.
Yeah. I didn't even realize, like, how much, like, little things could.
Yeah.
Like, even just, like, the hospital thing or, like, people getting sick. Because people get sick all the time, so. Yeah.
And I don't even think about it, like, I don't think about the little things. And then we have conversations like this. I'm like, and then, like, in therapy, I'll be talking to the therapist about stuff. And I'm like, oh, and then this. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, my God. But, yeah. But yeah, health anxiety, like anxiety manifests itself in different ways, like health anxiety, anxiety about other people.
Yeah. So there's anxiety about literally anything.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. And
totally.
One thing to know is that you're not alone.
Yes.
Like there will always be somebody else out there dealing with the same thing, and they might feel alone as well. And you are not alone. Never. You look on TikTok, actually. There are so many people on TikTok advocating for different forms of anxiety and different forms of phobias. Like, I actually found I have a couple TikTokers, influencers, I don't know, that talk about emetophobia, and it's been so nice.
It's so validating hearing other people's, like, stories too.
It's so validating, and I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching how they cope with different things, and I'm like, oh, okay, then I'm not by myself, and this is okay, because other people deal with this too. Yeah. Yeah. And that's really comforting.
And it's okay for me to be going through this. Like, I'm not crazy. Yeah. I'm not overthinking all my thoughts and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know when I was going through recovery, I made my social media, like, just a bunch of people also going through recovery for eating disorder. And it was just, like, it was so validating and, like, filling my world with that. Yeah. And knowing that, like, okay, they can get better, I can get better. Exactly. We're all doing this together. It's a little community.
It's a little group.
Yeah. Even if I didn't know them, like, it was just nice to see other people were going through it too.
And it doesn't make it as scary. It doesn't make it as, like, overwhelming. Yeah. And, like, make it, like, sometimes it feels impossible to get rid of that anxiety or get rid of that fear. But if some people, or that habit, and for some people to see other people doing it, it's so validating. It is. Like, you're not alone. You're not crazy. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. We're all doing the same thing. We're all living on this floating rock, like, fucking doing whatever we do. So, yeah. It's okay.
It is.
It will be okay.
It will be. What are some of the coping mechanisms you're using right now that you've learned? Ooh. I want to hear.
Okay, yeah. So, one thing, I haven't tried this yet. Okay. But, because I didn't have access to it. But if you're in a high emotional state, like, it doesn't have to be anxiety specifically. If you're in a high emotional state and you can't focus on anything else, like if you're really sad about something and you want to get out of it, or if you're really angry about something or you're really anxious about something, one thing that my counselor told me was grab an ice cube.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're changing your body temperature a little bit, but also like, if you grab an ice cube, you're focusing on that sensation of that ice cube in your hand. Yeah. And it's totally changing the way you're thinking about stuff. Or, like, get a bowl of ice water and dip your freaking face in there. Like, yeah. Like, just change your behavior, and it totally resets your, like, anxiety, resets your physical symptoms because they're not real. Yeah. So, like, grab an ice cube, grab something really cold.
Yeah. I think you just said it's not real. That made me think of how, like, I've had to hear a lot that my thoughts are not real. Yeah. Like, this anxiety is, like, not actually real. It's just my thoughts and what's going on in my head, and it's not actually fucking real. Like, no, it's just my brain.
No, every time I think that I'm going to throw up, I'm like, no, you're not. It's not real. It's not real. And one thing, actually, another coping mechanism is having people around you that understand it a little bit. Like, I know with you guys, if I told you I needed to get out for a second, one of you would go with me. Yeah. So,
or, like, the other night you stayed at my house because
I wanted to avoid it. Like, my brother's in high school still, and they had their prom night, and he had a friend from out of town stay over, and, like, everyone at prom, they're drinking, they're going to the after party, whatever they're drinking. I don't want them to change their life for me, and I don't want to affect me either. So I just removed myself from the situation so that I didn't have to be there if one of them threw up from being drunk. And one of them did throw up in the bathroom, which great, awesome.
But you didn't have to be there.
But I didn't have to be there for it.
Yeah. I think that was so good because you like did what was best for yourself and you knew what you needed to do.
Yeah.
And you did it.
And I didn't have any anxiety and it was really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then one thing that I know that helps me is if I feel really strongly like about being nauseous or whatever, I will look at one of my roommates or one of my friends and I just look at them and I'm like, I need you to tell me I'm not going to throw up. Like, I just need you to say those words out loud so I believe you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes my anxiety is so bad I don't believe myself.
Yeah. You need someone else to just be like, you're not going to throw up. You're okay.
Exactly. And like, I don't smoke weed. But when I have, I lose that control of like, you're fine, you're not going to throw up. And I don't know what's going to happen when I smoke, so I don't do it.
Yeah.
And when I have really bad anxiety about it. Because people green out all the time and they throw up and I don't want that to happen to me.
Yeah.
And like I've had to look at my roommates and be like, I need you to tell me that I'm okay. I need you to just say the words, you're fine, you're not going to throw up. That's all I need. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's so fine. You're so right. That's so
You're literally right. It's just my brain telling me things. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good that you know like to ask for what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me a little bit to get to that point. But now I know like if I can't listen to myself and I've told myself that I'm fine so many times and I don't believe it, I just look at somebody and I just need to go, you need to tell me that I'm going to be okay. And then they do, and then I'm okay.
Yeah.
Breathing really helps.
Yes. I think with literally any anxiety, breathing techniques.
Yeah. Breathing is so wild to me. And like, I know breathing is important, but when I'm in my situations, I don't think it's important.
Yeah.
So like my roommates will get worked up about stuff and I'll just be like, okay, just take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And sometimes they think, like I say it so often that it's like a whatever. Yeah. But sometimes they actually do it and they're like, whoa. And I'm like, guys, I know.
Like, yeah. But I feel like people are always like, okay, take a deep breath. And then people get like mad that you're saying that. But like, literally take a fucking deep breath because you will feel better.
Exactly. Just take a deep breath.
Take the deep breath.
Oh my God. Words to live by 2024. Take a deep breath. And it's not in the way that like you need to calm down. It's just like
it will help
this will regulate your whole system. Just take a deep breath. Regulate your breathing. It's the first step to anything.
Yeah, it is.
So like I was at a party recently and had a really bad anxiety moment because I was drinking 2 days in a row, and in my stupid emetophobia brain, I can't drink 2 days in a row or I will throw up. I will not. This has never happened to me. Also, I don't drink that much, period, to throw up at any point.
Yeah.
But I have this anxiety, whatever. Working on it. I was at the party and we were in a bar, in behind a bar, so we were in this like enclosed space, and I was with all my friends, all my guy friends, and we were having so much fun.
It was fun.
But I just got this like wave of like heat,
and
then this crazy pressure in my chest, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And then my mouth went like dry, like cotton mouth dry. And I was like, what is going on? So my cousin was in town. She understands my emetophobia. She has it a little bit too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Not as bad as mine is, but she does have it. And I looked at her and I said, I'm really not feeling good and we need to go upstairs. We were in this basement and it was really warm. It was warm and there was a lot of people in like one little confined space. So we went upstairs and it was so much cooler. And I just sat on the couch. My heart was racing. I was so scared. Aww. And then she went to the bathroom, came back, and she was like, okay, what's going on? And I was like, oh, right, this is irrational. This is stupid. Right. I was like, I just like had this wave. I told her, explained all the symptoms, and she was like, okay. And then we breathed. And we like did you really? And like just like made it really fun.
I love that.
And like moved our arms with it and like so just fun. Breathed, and like I was laughing. Like it was so much fun. Yeah. And then she was asking me about therapy and like coping mechanism because I had told her about them. Yeah. And I told her another coping mechanism is like focusing on tightening specific parts of your body. Yeah. tightening them and holding it really tight and then releasing. And then like moving up your body, like starting at your toes and moving all the way up. It's wild.
It helps you relax so much.
But it relaxes your body so well.
Yes. Yeah.
So then we did that, but we made it fun and we were laughing the entire time.
That's so
good. And it made me feel so much better.
Yeah.
And then she was like, okay, do you want to go back down or do you want to go home? And I was like, I was feeling a lot better at that point, and I knew that what I was feeling was silly and it wasn't real. So I was like, okay, let's try to go downstairs one more time. But she was like, I'm good to leave whenever. And I said, okay, we'll go downstairs one more time. And if I'm really not feeling it, we'll leave.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay.
Yeah.
So we went back down. I was talking to everybody else, and then I was like, I need to go home. Like I'm done peopling.
I remember we were both so like anxious, and we were just like holding hands and like like just in contact the whole time because we were so anxious.
Yeah, like little bits of like physical contact is really nice.
Yeah.
But I can't do, if I'm really anxious, I don't want anybody to touch me. I don't want anything on me.
That makes sense, yeah.
But there's other moments where I want somebody to hug me from behind or in front and just squeeze my chest and put that much pressure on me. Yeah. And like, it's so relieving. I don't know what it is, but just that pressure.
Yeah.
And so like even if I'm alone at night, if I'm really anxious about something and if I don't feel good or whatever, my stomach's upset, I sleep on my stomach regularly, which is not good for my neck or my back. But
it's comfy sometimes.
It's very comfortable. But I will sleep on my stomach, and like that pressure is relieving.
Yeah. I like the other day I had a panic attack, and I just put like my hands on my like chest to feel that pressure, because they say if you do that it kind of feels like a hug, and like your body will react like it's a hug. Yeah. So I just did that, and it always makes me feel better.
Oh, that's really cool.
Or like that's why people have like the weighted like stuffies. Yeah. I love those.
I might need to invest in one.
Or like a weighted blanket.
Pressure. Yeah. But then sometimes that pressure is like consuming and constricting. Yeah. So I can only do it in like small bits. Like that if I had the stuffy, I could do it. Yeah. Because I could take it on and off. But a weighted blanket would stress me out.
Yeah. That makes sense. Because it's literally you're so, yeah. But then the little stuffy is just a little bit. Yeah.
Like, especially with my emetophobia, my first thought is get out. And if I'm stuck.
Like a run, wait, what is it?
Fight or flight.
Yeah. The flight reaction.
Get out. Makes sense. Immediately. My fear is right there. Get out. Yeah. And it's not even like, sometimes my body will move before my mind says get out. Oh. Like I just know when I go.
Reacts right away.
Like one time I was in the bathroom, and my bathroom has 2 doors. Yeah. And my brother came home drunk, and he threw up in the door. Like ran to the bathroom.
You were in the bathroom?
I was on the toilet.
Oh my god.
I have PTSD from this situation, just so you know.
Yeah.
I think about it all the time. It's really bad. But so he came home drunk. I was using the bathroom, and I heard him run, and then he hit the door because he didn't expect it to be open because he was so drunk. Hit the door and threw up in the door, like through the crack in the door.
Oh my god.
And
oh my god.
I got up so fast. I did not flush the toilet. I pulled up my pants.
She pulled up her pants and ran.
I ran. Didn't even think. I ran to my parents' room because the other door connects to my parents' closet and their bedroom, and they're both sleeping. And I go, my mom's like, what? And I go, Joe's getting sick. Like my brother is getting sick, and they're like, what? And I ran downstairs in the basement, and I spent all day in the basement.
Really?
I had to get away from it. And my mom came down, and she was like, he's okay, like everything's gone. And I was like, no, I can't. And I stayed in my basement for like until later in the day when I knew it had been cleaned up. Yeah. And I think about every time I use that bathroom at night. Yeah. I'm so terrified that it's gonna happen again. And it's not, because he knows that it freaks me out. It's not gonna happen again.
And that's like not likely to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's wild though.
Yeah. So my body moved before I even thought about it. Yeah. I was like, get out. And then I couldn't even get the words out of he's getting sick. It was like he's sick, and I ran downstairs. Yeah. I was so terrified. Yeah. And it like, oh my god. It was wild. And that was like last summer. Last summer?
Yeah. 2 summers ago, last summer?
I think it was last summer. And then I tried to call one of my roommates just to talk to somebody else. But everyone was sleeping because it was late. But it's okay.
Yeah. We're still here.
We survived.
Thriving. Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
It didn't kill me.
No, it didn't.
But yeah. Yeah.
Other coping mechanisms? I do breathing.
Breathing, really important.
Do you journal? Ever?
No. Because in my brain it feels like schoolwork.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because I'm writing it and if I feel like I have to do it.
She's snoring.
Oh my god.
Our friend is upstairs sleeping. She's snoring.
She goes, I probably won't snore, but.
And here she is snoring.
You won't hear it, but we do. That's funny, actually.
It feels like schoolwork to journal.
Yeah. And I want to get back into it because...
Have you done it before?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I've never journaled about my anxiety, though.
You should try.
Yeah, it probably would be really good for me.
I like it because it's like... It makes me realize that, okay, my thoughts are irrational.
Yeah.
And because I write down everything that, like... Especially when I'm in a very overwhelmed state, I'll just, like, write down, like, everything I'm thinking and, like, all the thoughts that are going through my brain. And then I'm like, okay, wait, like, that's really not gonna happen. Like, it's not, like, I'm actually okay.
Yeah.
And then I kind of could just get all the thoughts out, and then, like my rational brain comes out, and it's like, you know what, I'm actually fine.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I feel so much better.
Yeah. One thing that my therapist gave me is this, like, chart, and I don't remember what it's called, but it goes through this thought-based parts of anxiety specifically. So, like, the first part of the chart you fill out, it's like, what are your immediate thoughts? So, like, what are you thinking? Like, what is the situation? Describe the situation, like, verbatim, describe the situation. So, where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? What time is it? Like, break down the situation to the bare bones.
Yeah.
Like, exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And then the second step is to rate how you're feeling. So, like 70% anxiety, 20%
Okay.
fear,
Yeah.
10% sadness, whatever. Like, you rate it in, like, a 100% scale.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be perfect, but you rate how you're feeling. And then the third step is what your, like, immediate thoughts are. So those are rational thoughts, what you're thinking, what could happen, whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, for me, I did it once with her, and I was talking about that situation at a party.
Yeah.
And we went through it, and, like, my immediate thoughts were, oh my god, I'm going to throw up. And I need to get out. Oh my god, I'm going to throw up, and I need to get out of here. And then the next step is to list, like, all the reasons why that could happen.
Okay, yeah.
So all the reasons that validate
that you're irrational, like,
validate your thoughts, your
immediate thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the things that validate that.
Okay.
And then the next step is all the things that don't validate it. That prove it wrong.
Disprove, yeah.
Yeah. Disprove it, whatever. Like, prove it wrong that you're not actually going to throw up. And then the last one is, like, factors that you think influence or whatever. Okay. So we broke this all down. And I had more reasons why I wasn't going to throw up to why I was. And it was fully just, like, spur of the moment, physical symptom. I'm going to throw up. I wasn't going to throw up. I don't drink enough ever that I'm going to throw up. Yeah. I can drink 2 days in a row and I will be okay.
You will be.
But it's really hard to move past that because I just get in my head about it.
Yeah. It's like one of those beliefs.
But I'm trying to get better, and I have a notebook that I want to start doing that, like, breakdown in. Yeah. Because it was really helpful to do it.
That is. And it also helps you to understand, like, your triggers, too.
Exactly.
And, like, what specific triggers, like, you react, have those thoughts in, yeah.
Yeah, so I want to start doing that, and she wants me to start doing that. It's my homework, so I have to. And you don't necessarily have to do it specifically to anxiety. Like, you can do it
for anything,
any emotion.
Yeah. I know I used to have like different apps that kind of did that thing, whereas like checkups throughout the day, and it's like, okay, in the morning, how are you feeling? Like, what different emotions are you feeling? What happened? What just happened?
Yeah.
And then like, I don't know, other things. Yeah. But like it helped, and then it would like put it all together and be like, oh, at this time of day, you're normally feeling like this. And, or when these things happen, you normally feel like this, because it like collects all the data from the different like inputs that you put in. And I thought that was really cool.
I think we all had that one with the little like emoticon, like little colored things.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I loved that. I don't know where it went, but I loved it.
I know. I always get those apps, and then like I'd do it for like a few weeks and then I stop. But yeah, they would be so helpful to have. Yeah.
But honestly, having a good support group, if possible, is really nice.
I always preach a support group.
Talk to the people around you.
Yeah.
Talk to your parents if they are open-minded about it.
Yeah.
If they're not, don't take it to heart.
Find some friends who are.
Find some people who feel the same way. Find people online who feel the same way. There's support groups online.
Yeah.
Start therapy if you can. Yeah. If possible.
Do it.
But only go to therapy if you're ready for it.
Yeah.
It's like
don't push yourself to like.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, when you're ready, you will be ready, and it'll all know come up. Yeah, you'll know.
I preached literally all day. Everyone needs to go to therapy.
Yeah. Like even if like therapy. You're not really ready to, experience all of the emotions and actually like do the deep work, still go to therapy and just like maybe just talk about what happens in your day. Have someone to talk to.
Exactly.
If you don't have anyone, and then maybe one time it'll like come up where you are ready to feel those things and ready to do that work. Exactly. And then you already have a therapist. You already have someone to like do it with. To. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we preach all day, every day. Everyone needs to go to therapy. It's really nice. But you can't force anybody to go to therapy.
Yes.
So if they're not ready for it, it's not going to help them.
Just be there to support them.
Just be there to support them. And let them know. If you have a friend who is really struggling with literally anything, we have a couple friends like that right now. Specifically one. But you just have to let them know that they're loved and that you're there for them no matter what. Yeah. And that you're to reach out if they need help. Or you reach out to them and check in with them. And trying to be that support for somebody else is overwhelming at some points, but it is really enjoyable, and it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself.
And it also like connects you too.
You create bonds that you may not thought that you ever would have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What a good chat. That was really good. Yeah. I enjoyed that a lot.
Me too.
You said some really great stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Everyone, this was Trista Huff. And if you are experiencing emetophobia, I hope this really helped some people. Yeah. And like, I think it's like hearing your story and other people hearing your story who are going through it will just like help them. Yeah. And make them feel validated. Yeah. So we hope you do feel validated.
Yeah. And like specifically with emetophobia and fears, there is an initial trauma that has influenced that fear, but it may not be identifiable. I don't know why I have this fear. Like there's no, like I've never been so sick or whatever. Like there's no reason that I have it. But it is valid. It is okay. Other people are dealing with other things. People are dealing with the same thing. Yeah. It is okay. If you are struggling with anything specifically, anxiety, whatever, if you're struggling with emetophobia, reach out.
Reach out for help.
Reach out for help.
You are strong enough.
Yeah. You're not alone. Yeah. You're not alone. There is support out there, and you will be okay.
It will get better. Even like I always preach that even if it doesn't feel like it right now, things will get better with time. Yeah. As much as it sucks that you have to be patient and go through the work over time. Yeah. It will get better with time.
No, 100% it will get better. Yeah. And I promise you, you will be okay.
You will be.
100%.
Yes.
And if you need anything, reach out. Yeah. Reach out to the podcast Instagram. I can answer any questions about emetophobia specifically. Yeah. But yeah.
You are loved. We love you.
We love you so much. You're on this earth for a reason.
You are.
And we're happy that you're here.
We are. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay. I hope you have an amazing week, everyone. And I'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Do you want to do the outro song with me? Do you know it?
I don't know it that much, but I can do it.
Okay. Ba-ba-da-da. Bum-ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum. Ba-ba-da-bum. Yeah. Bye-bye-bye-bye-bye.
Bye. Love you.